Welcome to Setting the Stage. I'm Brooke Savage. Monster Jam is coming to Camping World Stadium. Bari Musawwir drives Zombie. He is here to tell us all about it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me here.
So first off, I usually start off with, where are you from?
So originally I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I moved to Central Florida in 2000. So I call Apopka home now, so it's good to be back doing a hometown event here for Monster Jam. I'm excited because there's so many friends and family that are coming out, and we're going to have a blast.
Awesome. I love it. So, of course, everyone wants to know, how did you become a Monster Jam driver?
So at the age of 6, my mom took me to my first Monster Jam, and I knew at that moment, I was like, this is what I got to do. You know, I didn't know how I was going to achieve that goal. At the tender age of 6, you know, I didn't grow up in a rural area. We didn't have off-road vehicles or farm equipment or anything like that. So I actually got involved with radio-controlled cars, and that became my hobby. And I got my first hobby-grade RC car probably age 11. And then after that, it just took off for me because the hobby grade cars, they weren't like the ones at the toy store. If you broke the ones at the toy store, you couldn't fix them. With the hobby grade ones, you can actually fix them, upgrade them, kind of make them your own, customize them. So I kind of gravitated towards that. And one thing led to another, and the years went by, and I kept going to RC events. And one of my friends, his name was Fred Reap, he said, man, let's go do an RC event at the home of Gravedigger. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So we packed up, we went to Poplar Branch, North Carolina, Digger's Dungeon, the home of Gravedigger, and we held an RC event there. This was in 2006. And one of the Monster Jam officials just happened to notice me, and he said, man, if you can drive RC that good, you could probably drive the real deal. So literally he added me to a test session he had in the test field where they were trying to find new drivers. A week later, I was living out a childhood dream, driving in the test field. It took 4 years after that point to get hired on professionally, but here I am 15 years later, still living the childhood dream, and I get to do it right here in Orlando this weekend.
That is incredible. When that journey first started, were you just in complete disbelief like that, so like this was happening?
Yeah, you just never know when your big break is going to come, and at that moment I had no idea that they were going to add me to a test session that they already had scheduled. And I actually can remember working for a sign company that I worked for, and I came home from the RC race, and I just told them I was going back. I didn't even ask them for time off, so they just kind of said, oh, okay. So they realized that it was a passion of mine, and they gave me the grace to go back, and I still had a job when I came back, so that was good. But it's really one of those things that it was right place, right time, and you know, I've been passionate about it since I was 6 years old, so I think he's maybe sensed that I was really passionate about it, and I had what it took to actually become a Monster Jam driver.
I love it. And you also mentioned to me your son is in 5th grade.
Yes.
What does it mean to you that you're, living out your dream, like for him to witness? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's truly inspiring, to be able to pave the way for him because he loves Monster Jam. He loves the RC aspect. We have a lot of collection of RC cars and trucks at home. So he lives in that, and he wanted to come here today, but then I told him it's pretty early morning. So he said, all right, I'll hang out at home. So his teachers are really thrilled that he's involved with it like he is and as passionate as he is about it. So they're coming to the event too. So it's going to be really special for him to kind of, take it all in and witness what his dad does. He's been to a few events with me this year, and I've done really well, so I'm really happy about that.
I love it. I feel like not a lot of kids get to see their, parents live out their dreams like that,
Yeah, it's truly special. I tell people I haven't worked in 15 years because this is not a job, we just get paid to do a career that is actually something I'm passionate about, something that I love. So to be able to, motivate him like that is truly one of those things that, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I love it. So on the website, and you said a lot of people point this out.
Yeah.
You say zombies freak you out.
Yeah.
So how did you become the driver of Zombie?
I think it was one of those things where it was like Murphy's Law, it's like the fans voted Zombie into existence, and then Monster Jam asked me to drive it, and it was like, what? Okay. So I really had to kind of make it my own, and we came up with the zombie arm wave where we actually get the whole crowd to interact with me in the truck, and they do the zombie arm wave back and forth to me. So whenever you can interact with a crowd, 50,000 people in Camping World Stadium doing that back to you, that's pretty awesome.
I love that. That sounds like so much fun. But you also have driven like another truck, right? The Black Panther. How does that
Yeah.
work?
So I drive internationally too. So Monster Jam has a tour that tours internationally all over the world. And I drive the Marvel Black Panther truck on the international tour. So that's really cool because it's my second time going around with Marvel. I drove Spider-Man from 2012 up until 2014. So now to be back with Marvel on the international tour is really special, and Black Panther. So there's a lot of responsibility with that, and it's got a lot of fans of its own, you know. So we start that after our domestic season, which kind of slows down for us in June, July, and then we pick up the international tour.
That makes sense. How do you prepare for? Is Monster Jam a show? Can I call it a show?
It's an event. It's I can tell you it's an event with amazing production value because the producers of the event do such a great job at engaging with the fans that are there and being there live. You have to take it all in, and to be able to compete when you have a great production value, that's like awesome. You don't see too many motorsports that have amazing production value and a competitive edge. We've got both at Monster Jam. And we've got the chance to involve our fans because they can vote for who they want to win in certain competitions, which is really cool. It keeps them engaged. And of course, you try to connect with the fans. So it's a cool way to do an event and mix in a competition.
How do you prepare like for all the stunts that you do?
You really just got to study video. You want to make sure that you kind of put your mindset in the right frame of mind to know, okay, I got to go do this backflip out here. You have to think about that. I'm backflipping a 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck. It's got 1,500 horsepower in front of all these fans. So you want to make sure you're on your game. So a lot of it comes from just studying video. I've been around a while, so I've kind of in the groove of what it takes to get the job done. But really, it's just making sure that you're in your right frame of mind. It takes mental toughness as well as, the physical strength to control this truck.
Do you ever get nervous beforehand?
I wouldn't say nervous. It's more like you just want to do well. You want to do good. So I get anxious to do well. But once I'm out there, it's like, it comes back to you like riding a bike.
Yeah. How do you, what is your favorite part about Monster Jam and what can people expect tomorrow?
Honestly, my favorite part is meeting all the fans at the pit party. That's actually the party before the actual event where we park the trucks out in the field right outside of Camping World Stadium, and the fans get to come in and meet and mingle with us, and they get to take pictures, see these giant trucks up close and personal. We'll give them autographs, and we have some of the best fans in motorsports. I mean, they come bring us gifts, and they make custom cool signs. They come with their merch ready to go, so it's a lot of fun for the whole family.
And so you mentioned the fans. What is some of the feedback you get from them?
They love the fact that I hold 2 Guinness World Records. I've done the most donuts in the Monster Jam truck. In Zombie, we did 44 donuts in 1 minute, which that was wild. We did that over Father's Day week 2020. I'll never forget that week. And to be able to achieve that world record, I would have never thought throughout my career that was something that I would achieve. And so people always ask me, do you think you're going to do that many donuts tonight? And usually we can't do that many in an event, but you never know what will happen in Monster Jam.
And tomorrow's event is a big deal, right? Especially when it comes to points. You're pretty up there, right?
Yeah, we're second in points right now, 5 points out of the lead. So this is crucial for that berth to the overall event championship. And you get a free berth to the Monster Jam World Finals, which is taking place in Salt Lake City this year.
Awesome. You mentioned you live in Apopka. How long have you been on tour, and how often do you get to come back to Central Florida to spend time with your family?
So it's really cool the way it's set up. I get to fly in and fly out from each city. So each year we start a new season. So January started this new season, and now we're embarking on March, which it just seems like, man, that flew by. But I get to fly out and usually late in the week and come back earlier in the week. So it's really special that I still get to spend time at home and I still get to travel and do what I love on the road.
Wow, that is awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, what is next for you? Like more More Monster Jam. What are your thoughts? What's next?
I love it. I feel like 15 years, I could go another 15 years. I still love it. And I love to meet new fans that have never been before. I'd also like to help the newer drivers. So I could see myself maybe dabbling in teaching new drivers when that time comes. I already do a little bit of non-motorized training, which is part of the Monster Jam University process, where you have to go through Monster Jam University non-motorized training with the newer drivers before they can actually make it to the driver's seat at motorized training. So that's kind of gratifying to see new drivers up and coming and actually see them succeed.
I never thought about there being a Monster Jam University.
Yeah, there is. It's in Paxton, Illinois. Tom Mintz, who's a multi-time world champion when it comes to Monster Jam, he's the professor. So it's really cool. It's really cool to be able to drive these trucks in the test field or at Monster Jam University and hone in your skills and see what you can do and have people critique you. And you have to graduate from Monster Jam University before they even let you on the track.
Wow. Is there anything else you have to be prepared for to get into the car? Because like you said, you do a lot of stunts. I have to imagine you have to have some sort of fitness level to be prepared, so you don't get injured in that way.
For sure. As physically fit as you can be is the better, because these trucks are physically demanding. I mean, we're in there with a seat that's tailor-made to our body. So you can't really fluctuate on if you gain a few pounds during the holiday season or if you lose a few pounds. You kind of got to maintain. And then we've got 7-point safety harnesses, which is the industry standard now, and helmets, fire suits, gloves, head and neck restraint systems. So that all kind of gels together and comes into play to where you're strapped in that truck. You almost feel invincible.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
What can people expect from the show tomorrow?
Man, it's a family fun environment. We're going to have a good time from the grandkids all the way up to the grandparents, And to be able to do that and have people witness it live, it's totally different from seeing it on TV. So you want to make sure you get your tickets and be there for the pit party to see these trucks before, because I guarantee you they're not going to look as pretty as they do at the pit party after the event.
That's a good point. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
I'm just happy to be home. It's good to be home in front of the hometown crowd. Sit here talking with all the media we've done all week long preparing for this. I'm ready to go now.
Is a hometown crowd a little bit different than other crowds?
It is, because you get that familiar face to come through your line at the pit party. You got all the text messages and the phone calls leading up to it. You got to get all the ticket requests done. So it's a little bit more work, but I'll definitely do it every time. That support system of having your people that are around the community, it's second to none.
I love it. Well, again, Monster Jam will be at Camping World Stadium tomorrow. I posted all the details about the pit party and when it starts at 7 p.m. on clickorlando.com. Bari, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.